Welcome everyone to today's tarot reading. We'll be doing a pick a card where the question is he worth waiting for? So I thought it would be interesting to do this, and when I was tuning into spirit, this seemed to be what I was coming through. And I think there are amongst you out there who would really resonate with this reading and would find it really helpful for you. So without further ado, let's have a look at the configurations. Now, this one here with this beautiful golden Andara. So this is going to be deck number 1 for the pick a card. This beautiful goddess, Atlantis goddess crystal. Now this is going to be for pick number 2. And this multicolored rainbow piece with angelic light flowing through it. This is going to be for pick number 3. Okay, so the energy of the Andaras wanted to come forward very, very much today. As you know, or some of you may know, I'm a big fan of these crystals, and I find that their energy is really healing, uplifting, and can really help us to navigate difficult waters, so to speak. So our chief crystal for today is my beautiful yellow luminous piece. You can just see how it catches the light, and it's even more gorgeous in real life. And this is the piece that wanted to be with us today as our guide, and it's my guide as I do the reading for you. So even if you don't see this piece, you'll know that it's really working with me, and possibly even those of you who are watching. So I hope that you're going to enjoy the healing energies for those of you who are sensitive to energy. And so we'll just take a moment for you to tune into the 3 decks for you, or 3 picks for you to see which one is going to resonate best with you and your situation, with your partner. So it doesn't need to be a guy, even though I've said is he worth waiting for? Okay, but this isn't gender specific. So it's your person, your guy, your woman, whatever it is for you, whatever works. Now that's going to be who this is for. Okay, so I'm just going to let you take a moment and tune into the crystals. So you're going to tune into the crystals, okay, and then they're going to be the ones that are going to draw you in and help you to choose. Okay, so I hope you've picked your choice. So we're going to go with, pick number 1 first. So we're going to put aside pick number 2 and pick number 3. So today the energies have been really interesting. I have to say, I've been having a lot of strong energies come in the last few days. And I know I have not been around, and my apologies for those who are following. I just had, a number of things I needed to sort out, and I cleared my schedule today so that I could be with you, and I could give you this reading. I hope that it's going to be, it's going to resonate with you. But if it doesn't for any reason, that's okay. I'm sure you'll find a reading and a reader out there that will connect with you better today. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment, and I'm going to shuffle this one. So once the cards are out, I'll be able to tell you what the story is behind this pick. Okay, as usual, I'm going to do a pick of 5. Okay, so the question being, is he worth waiting for? So what's the story behind this pick? Okay, so that is the question. What's the story behind it? Let's see, and that's how we're going to know if, this is your guy or this is your situation that we are tuning into. Okay. Now, the first card that we have is the Ten of Wands. Okay, the Ten of Wands. So it could be that your guy could have left you, or he's moved, he's changed jobs, or he's moved away because of work. It could be, something along those lines. So at the minute, it does not necessarily feel that, you guys are together. Okay? And then we look at the World card. Okay, when we look at the World card, then what I'm getting is a sense of where there's been a certain level, of completion between the two of you. And you may even have been wondering whether this relationship has ended completely, or what's the story? What's the story behind it? Okay? And then we have the Two of Pentacles coming up in the obstacle position. So it looks like your guy was not quite able to juggle, or you guys were not able to juggle between having this maybe this could be a long distance relationship, or the separation of some sort. And of course, the first card that has come out with the Romance Angels is the separation card. Okay, so that shows sort of more clearly that what we're dealing with here is likely to be a separation of sorts. So it could have been at the start of the relationship. I'm not clear. It could be the start. It could have been when things are going pretty well that this happened, or it could also be a relationship where that could just have been a long distance thing as well. Really, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so. What we have here is that it's interesting because in this reading we've got three major arcana cards. We've got the World, the Tower, and the Hanged Man. And so with the Tower card coming in, so it looks like there's going to be a sudden event. A sudden event, and it's going to change the dynamic. But let's tune into your person right now, your guy, okay? So what I'm feeling is he has a lot of passion for you. I think that's what this card is about. Okay, the passion card from the Romance Angels. So it feels like he has a lot of passion for you. And it does feel like decision time is coming pretty soon. Although at the minute you could be feeling stuck, and he could be feeling stuck as well. I think the distance between you, either it's geographical or you're not necessarily talking to one another right now, and so that feels like both of you are feeling sort of stuck. It's difficult for both of you to move forward. So let's see what. Oh, okay. So look at this card from the Whispers of Love deck. So this is the Be Authentic to Who You Are, and it says here, you're asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. So what I feel about this is that this is working with this card now, the Very Soon card, which says you need to decide. Okay, you're going to need to make a decision soon. And also the Tower card. I feel these three cards work together. Okay. And I know the question is he worth waiting for? And it feels like, there is this wonderful energy between the two of you. And whatever's happened to the two of you seems more external than it is, what actually is going on between the two of you. I think both of you were having a pretty all right relationship, pretty good. Some highs, some lows, But what it feels like is you're going to have to make a decision really, really quickly. So I am going to pick another romance angel card to give a clarifier about your guy and you, or your person and you. So let's see how that goes. It seems like, for whatever reason, this card has come out. The flirt card has come out. So perhaps your guy is a bit of a flirt. Maybe he is a bit of a flirt. Maybe he is, or maybe that's what it seems like to you. Maybe this is the issue that, or could be one of the issues that you've been facing in the relationship. You're not quite sure of how he feels, and you're wondering, is he going to come back, and is he going to be a good partner to me? Okay, so that's the card. So, the connection that you have is a past life. Okay, so the energy of past life is coming out very strongly. So that's why, you have been putting up with some of his flirtations, because you feel this deep connection to him. But I get also that your relationship, or your energy, the two of you have, is actually quite playful, and you get a lot of fun from this relationship. You have a lot of fulfillment from this relationship. This guy understands you at a very deep level, is what I'm thinking. And he feels, understood by you too. And I feel that that's what this past life card is bringing in. It's this knowingness that you feel you understand each other, that you sort of, maybe even finish each other's sentences. That sense of connectivity and connection that you're feeling. So, it's been hard for you, I think, at times, because I think there is a certain playfulness, a certain flirtatiousness in your person or your man. But I have got a strong feeling that you need to be authentic in your relationship. This is about you. I feel the more real you are about your relationship, the less that you're willing to put on maybe certain masks in the relationship. That's what I'm getting. If you're willing to do that, what I'm getting is that the likelihood is that he is also going to start being more real for you. And I'm going to pick one more card from the Romance Angel deck. So let's see what we have. What's going on. Whether there's anything else the cards are going to tell us about your situation. You could be somebody who has got a lot of restrictions as to how you can be in a relationship, or you've imposed restrictions on him or on the relationship, and as how you want it to be, and maybe the relationship just is not quite there yet. So it's better to be to go with this energy of playfulness with him. Enjoy the relationship. What I am feeling is that he is worth waiting for, to be honest. That's the sense that I am getting from the cards, and really just from the energy that is around at the moment that I'm tuning into for this first pick, is that he is worth waiting for. It's just that it's going to take a while yet. There's some issues that you'll need to work through, which could be this flirtatiousness that he has with women or with people, that I feel will fall away as your relationship with him deepens. So that's what I'm getting from the cards, and from the energies that are around at the minute. So that's what I'm getting from right here. So let me see if there's anything else that the cards want to say. Yep, I'm going to take another card from here just to see if the cards have anything more to tell us. Yes, so they're saying don't give up before, things start really getting better. Because I feel that you could be on the brink of giving up this relationship. And they're saying, wait, I guess this is the worth waiting for card in this case, where it's saying, yes, the situation isn't ideal. There are a lot of obstacles. You could even be apart. You could even be geographically apart. But at the end of the day, this guy, this person, is worth the wait. So don't throw in the towel. Do not give up, just before things take a turn for the better. But, that you are going to need to do some inner work, okay? You are going to have to do some work on yourself. And what's going to happen is when you do, you're going to find that the relationship between the two of you starts to change. And that would be the lesson of both of you being stuck right now. I think the authenticity between the two of you is what's going to move this relationship forward. And I think you're going to, because it's a soulmate relationship, so there may be bumps in the road. It's not going to be all plain sailing, but it feels like this guy, is worth it. It's worth it. Okay, so that's pick number 1. So let's get on with pick number 2. So it's for those of you who picked this beautiful Atlantis Goddess card. Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle the deck for pick number 2. So what do you need to know about if your guy or your person is worth waiting for? Or what's your situation and what do you need to know? By the way, I do not read cards that are upside down. I only ever read them right side up. Although sometimes the way I interpret it could seem as though I'm, reading a reversal, but I tune into the energies. It's not so much what is in front of me, rather how I feel and what spirit is saying. So one of the cards is a page. So let's take another card for it because it's a messenger card. Okay. Right, let's put out some of the other cards as well. Oh, okay, let's do this later. Let's focus on this now. Okay, so what I'm getting with pick number 2 is for some of you, your person could be in the IT line. I don't know why that is. I'm just getting this feeling. It could be an IT job, or it could be involved in computers or online businesses or something like that. So the Devil card came out. So for me, it's about obsession, okay, or addiction. So let me just tune into the energy of this. So it could be either you or your partner, maybe both of you have a certain addiction, okay? It could be a certain, it could even be sex addiction. It could be addiction to alcohol. It could be addiction to gaming. It could be addiction to anything. Okay? It just could be an addiction to just anything. So, just tune in. It could even be addiction to one another. You could be just, like so addicted to each other. And that's not really the best sort of energy to be in, because the Emperor card, now the Emperor has come out in reverse. Well, sorry, I never use reverse. What am I saying? Why did it even come out of my mouth? Oh my God. Okay. So I think I know what it is. I'm meant to read it like it's in reverse. And I was going to anyway, because this is the obstacle position in my 5 card draw. Okay. So what I'm getting here is that both of you are not being in your power. Okay, you're giving your power away. It could be to the passion that is between you, the energy that is between the both of you. And then what I'm getting here, is the Five of Cups, which is the loss card. So it's going to be some sort of loss or regret coming into the relationship. So let's have a look. Oh, interesting. So, okay. Now, the first card that has come out is the Getting to Know You card, okay? So, what it feels like is you did not take enough time to really get to know each other before you jumped into the relationship. That's what I'm getting, okay? So you did not do it. And how it's feeling like right now is it feels like true love, okay? It feels like true love for the both of you. But what I am seeing is that because of the Five of Cups, the situation between you may have been tense or may not be going as per what you expected. And both of you are starting to look at the negatives in the relationship instead of the positives in the relationship. So you may need to take a break from the relationship to evaluate and see if this is how you're going to be. I'm just going to take this card. Oh, yes, but there seems to be so much of connection and love and romance. The Getting to Know You, the True Love, the Honeymoon card, and then now the Romance card from the Whispers of Love deck. So what this is telling me is that there is this energy, okay? There is this energy of love that's underlying all of this. It's a lot of energy, So, but the thing is, you guys need to change is what I'm getting. You guys need to really, take a step back and to get to know each other better and to not be quite so obsessed with each other. I think, this relationship, there's a lot going for it, okay? But you guys have got to connect, not just physically, okay? You guys have got to connect on the emotional level as well, okay? Which is not happening at the minute. So you need to do that. And then the Page of Cups has come out. So, your relationship will go through a renewal is what I'm feeling. It's going to be a renewed sense of purpose and direction in this relationship. Both of you are going to connect and get to know each other. The Getting to Know You card, okay? So that's in here. So that's going to happen. And it feels like the passion in your relationship. To me, that's what's represented by the Knight of Wands. So that's going to be rekindled, okay? But it's almost like you need to abstain from each other for a while, and to really connect at a much, much deeper level. At the minute, I think it's very much sexual. That's what I'm getting. Because the Devil card is also not just about, about addiction, but it could also be, very strong sexual energy that is a bit out of control. I think we all know what that's like, when things are very hot and heavy, and the problem with that is that you're not getting to really get to know each other on a deep level, because you need to allow true love to develop between the two of you. True love, okay? You've got to spend time romancing each other without the sex part. I know this is going to be hugely unpopular with some of you, okay? But it's more getting to be with each other and on a different level, understanding each other, loving each other. So just being very much sex oriented is not going to take this relationship to another level, okay? So this is where you guys are. And so this being the case, because it's true love and so on, and even though you've got to work through, some issues, but it feels like, your relationship has a pretty good chance. Okay, has a pretty good chance of success. So I would say that this relationship and this person is possibly also worth waiting for. But you have to, again, I don't know what it is about Hump Day, Wednesday, because that's the day I pick the cards, but it's a lot to do with having to do your inner work, okay? Once you get your inner work sorted, you're going to find that things start to move smoothly between the two of you. Now I'm going to see if anything, whoops, comes up from the cards are wanting to fly everywhere. Oh my goodness, but I'm trying to not. Okay, focus, focus. So what would be the card that's coming out to give clarification? Oh, there you go. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. So stay optimistic about your love life. So even though there are things in the 3D that are not working out for you all so much at the minute, but I think overriding it is a sense of, stay positive, or you yourself, okay? It could be that you yourself are feeling very positive about the relationship. Even though, things could have happened, there may even be, a separation between the two of you. There may even, that's actually very likely. You could be, separated for the minute. There could be no contact even between the two of you. But what I'm feeling is that, things need to cool down, and both of you need to step into your power, because you've got to be your own emperor. You've got to stand in your own power in the relationship, and then things are going to start shifting and moving again. And I think then you will learn to appreciate each other on a different level. That's what I'm getting. You're going to have to learn to appreciate one another. So let me just focus in. Is there anything else that Spirit wants to convey? Okay, I'm just going to take one card. Oops, sorry, wrong deck. Ooh, this is the deck for pick number 2. Okay, just what? Yep, I think he's going to contact you. Your person is going to contact you, okay? And if you guys are not together at the moment, okay? So I think there's going to be contact between the two of you, and that's going to start to move things forward as well. Yay! So that's a good card. I'm glad I picked that. So yeah, so I think that is pretty much it for pick number 2. Okay, and so let's move on to pick number 3. Well, I'm pretty happy. I think the picks have been quite positive. So this one here, isn't this gorgeous? It's just catching the light. Ooh, love, love. So, okay, for those of you who picked this guy, okay, so pick number 3. What do we need to know about if this person is worth waiting for? Okay. Okay, so okay, this is a completely different energy from the first 2. I think you could be married, or you could have been in a partnership. You could be likely living, or you were likely living together. You probably set up a house, or you moved in together, something like that. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords to me is saying, there has been a new beginning. But I'm wondering what the new beginning is about, because the Ace of Wands comes out in the obstacle position. And so with these 2 cards here, because this is like, sort of like the past energy. And this is what's coming in. And I'm starting to feel like, you guys may not even be together, or or there's something like a separation between the two of you. And I think one or both of you have been trying to restart this relationship, but then now this has come up, the deception card. So, I really want to know what this is about. So I am going to refer to our angel cards. Okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so what I'm getting here is that I know that this is saying, you've kind of like disconnected from the world, but I'm getting that you've disconnected from each other, more like, okay? You're probably spending time apart right now. Things are not quite going where they should have been. So you set up house, or you were together, and then some sort of a separation took place. And I think both of you are on your own and trying to figure things out. That's what I'm feeling from the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Wands is telling me that both of you may have been trying to rekindle the relationship, but it hasn't been going well. You haven't been able to do it. And then of course we've got this from the Romance Angels deck, and we're talking about red flags. Red flags. And when I look at the red flags, of course, then I am also looking at the Seven of Swords, which is the deception card, okay? So there has been deceit of some sort. So it could be somebody else. There could be third-party influence. It could be about money. Some sort of deceit that has happened. It could even be you or them. Okay, so I'm not saying who it is right now. I'm not getting a clear indication of who it is. But clearly, someone has not been honest with the other. And so this card, so the Two of Swords is there. So again, it's coming to some sort of decision, but neither of you can make a decision about where this is going to go and what's supposed to happen now. Okay, because of the deception. Now, I am not sure if it's the other party and you've been okay and you've been a good person and not deceiving, not being deceptive in the relationship. You may or may not know at the present time of the deception, of maybe there being a third party. There could be infidelity. There could be some issues around property or money as well. Okay, or they could have changed jobs also. For some of you, your person could have changed jobs and be having a much better salary, for example, but they're not telling you this. Okay, so I'm also getting, for some of you, there could be children in the picture. So there could be child support. There could be that sort of issue also that is in the picture, and you're wanting to also try and make a go of it because you could have children, and that is there. And so there are red flags, okay? We can't deny that, and that's making it very difficult as well. So if you're not aware of what the deception is, I think you need to do some investigation, some discreet investigation. If it's not you, if it's new, you'll know, okay? But if it's not you, you may need to do some, checking up the Facebook, looking at social media. You may need to be tracking your person to find out what it is about. All that being said, you're still you're still in the process of deciding whether you should go ahead. And for some of you, you could give your relationship a chance. So what I am getting is that, notwithstanding this, because you've got to get to the bottom of this, okay? If it's the other party, and maybe if it's you, if you're being deceptive, why are you being deceptive? Why are you doing something, without the other person's knowledge? Why? If it's to protect your position, because you think you're gonna go for a divorce, okay, I wouldn't, it's not the best thing to do, but it does happen in relationships. But I think at the minute, this is where you are. You're considering giving it a chance. So I think in your case, your relationship, I wouldn't give it a big thumbs down, but what I would say is this relationship has a 50-50 chance of sort of moving forward. But let's see what the last card says. Appreciate this moment. So I think, in making your decision, you need to look at the good things in the relationship. You've got to weigh the pros and cons in your relationship, okay? And find, and remember the good times as well. Maybe that will help you to make a decision. But I want to take out another card from the Romance Angels deck. So I'm going to give it a quick shuffle to see what the cards are telling us. We're hoping that Spirit has a little bit more information and light to throw on this situation. Okay. You may actually have someone else in the wings yourself. So maybe the situation is about you having this relationship that you're wondering whether you should go ahead with. And there could be somebody else in the periphery, or somebody else that you're involved with. So maybe it's you who is, being unfaithful, or who has someone on the side, or whatever it is. But if you guys have gone, are clear that both of you can see other people, then, it's not deception anymore, is it? Because you're being upfront with each other and saying, okay, I'm seeing other people for now. And sometimes that's what needs to happen, Sometimes that's what needs to happen in a relationship. You need to see other people so that you can really figure out whether or not the person that you were with is the one for you. Sometimes it takes somebody else who isn't the one to show you how good you had it. Okay? And the getting to know you card has come out again. Okay? So to me, this means that you need to, amongst other things, spend time together before you can, make up your minds about, the way forward. And, it's interesting the True Love card came out, So this card, to me, looking at everything together, it's like, yes, there are red flags and so on. And yes, I'm saying it's 50-50. But in evaluating the relationship for yourself to decide which way you're going to go, you've also got to look at all the good things that happened and all the good times that you had and the feelings that you had, and whether you can get past the deception if it is the other party. And if you come clean with the other party, which I think you should, it's going to come to the point where, you'll have to see whether or not the other party can live with what you've done as well. So I've got a feeling that in this situation right here, there's going to be a lot of forgiveness. There needs to be a lot of forgiveness for this relationship to move forward. So if you're going to decide that you are going to give it a chance, okay, so giving it a chance, so then what you need to do is forgive. There's going to be a lot of forgiveness work in this relationship on both sides. I think that's maybe why you were not able to, get things moving between the two of you. It's like starts and stops is what I'm getting. A lot of starts, a lot of stops. You start conversations and the conversations stop, and it's been going on this way. And I think that, I feel for you. I really, really do. It's not easy at all, to move forward, especially, if there's been a lot of history between the two of you. But you've got to think back to the past and think about the reasons you got into this relationship in the first place. And if you are married and if there are kids, I think you owe it to both of you to decide or to give each other a chance to work this out. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling anyway. So let me just see if there is something else that the angels want us to know. about this. I have a feeling there's a card in here that could throw some light. Oh, it's interesting that this card has come out again. It says free yourself. But okay, let's see how I'm going to read free yourself, because free yourself could mean so many things in this case. I think this is about you also being in your power, taking back control of your life, but in a positive way. I think that this relationship could be also moving forward unconventional in some way, shape, or form. You may even decide on an open relationship if that's what if that's what's going to be, that's going to rock your boat or rock his boat. But um, if you can live with that kind of relationship, it could be something unconventional about your relationship. So you could have an open relationship. Okay, that could be what is actually going to be, the factor that is going to say, okay, we need to go forward, but we've got to, we you know, we've got to know each other well enough to know what's going to work and what's not going to work for us. And who says relationships need to be just one way to work? The important thing is that you're happy, that you're honest and true with one another, that you have a great deal of trust and respect for each other that is necessary and underlying. Okay? Once you have that, and there's truth and there's kindness to one another, you've got to be kind. Okay? So no hurting each other for the sake of it. Okay? So it's got to be a lot of that energy. And I think when you have that energy in the mix, the relationship is going to actually, could actually potentially also work out. But it is definitely going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work, this one. And I do feel, though, that there is, that it's been a long and winding road, okay? This has been a long and winding road. I think that is the energy of what it is, where you've had this opportunity to really think about what you want. And it's interesting that this card came out, okay? So this is act as if your partner is here. Now, what does this mean? Think about how life would be if with this person back in your life. Can you live with them on a day-to-day basis, knowing what you do? Because this relationship could be very, very challenging, because if you're going to go on an open relationship route, that's a double-edged sword. So you have to be very, very certain of who you are. You've got to be very, very strong in your relationship and strong in who you are, and be very clear on the boundaries that you have. So maybe this is also, the free yourself has got to do also with boundaries, having very clear boundaries about yourself, your partner in your relationship. What are you going to accept and what are you not going to accept? I think that's very important for you to decide before you know if you can take the sort of relationship that maybe your partner needs or you need. Could be what you need as well, and it could be your partner the one who, it could be that your partner is the one who has to make the decision, who has to decide if this relationship is going to work for you. Okay. So I hope that you have had some insight into your relationship, and I would really love to have your comments below. So please like, share, and subscribe below. Okay, I'd really love to hear from you, and I'd also like to know what sort of readings you guys like, what sort of questions you want answered. I think that's really important for me as a reader to know, what the people who are drawn to my readings actually are interested to find out, and also like what's going on with you in your relationships, for which you need to have clarity or clarification and so on. And so I wish you a really terrific rest of the day. And so from my heart and the Andaras to you, much love and light. Bye now.